Dealing with an out-of-control teenager's substance abusing behavior is a nightmare for every parent or guardian. The program at Outreach House has become a beacon of hope and motivation for positive change in many families' lives.
Our philosophy is building healthy lives, and Outreach looks at working not just with the teenager, but the entire family. And we operate from a perspective that it's a family-based model. You know, you'll hear the kids here talk about their brothers and sisters in treatment. This is their house, hence Outreach House. It's their other family. They have their family at home and their family while they're in treatment, which really breaks the frame. You know, treatment is about helping. It's a family-based model versus being in an institution or a facility.
My experience with my son Steve is that at 13 years old, he started using drugs and alcohol. So we went through multiple different schools, facilities that he was discharged from. Nothing worked. Finally, I found out about Outreach from a social worker at a hospital where he was finally admitted.
Growing up, I was always getting in trouble, always in trouble at school, with family.
I started hanging out with my sister and her friends, and they were like partiers, so I started drinking, I started doing drugs a little bit.
Before I came here, I was in an outpatient facility, and I was really messing up there.
I ended up getting in a lot of trouble at school, and they decided they didn't want me there anymore.
And I was on school pins, and then parent pins as well, and I ended up violating that.
And they put me in outpatient services because I violated probation, and they extended it 6 months. I ended up violating again, and this was my only option. This was my parents' last hope.
Before I got here, I was just like very non-compliant with my family. I didn't listen to them, anything that they said.
And then I guess my relationship that I was in definitely triggered me.
I wasn't going to make it. I was going to be dead. I was going through a lot of hard times, a lot of trouble, and this was my only option, really. It was either this or jail, and jail would have solved anything.
We work with kids as young as 12 and up to the age of 17, just upon their 18th birthday at admission. So we really focus on that school-age adolescent, which is a really, really difficult population, as you can imagine, with everything that's happening in the schools. So that's really what we've specialized in and made our expertise.
I found out about Outreach through our school district. Having problems with our son as far as behavioral and learning, until we found out that he did have a drug addiction. And we got together with the school district, and they helped us find Outreach.
We realized that rehab was essential for our family when we no longer had control over my son, and he stopped listening to us, did things behind our back, whether it was stealing, lying. We couldn't control him anymore.
And we surrendered to it, you know, when nothing is helping, and you know that as a parent you're helpless and desperate. You know, you have to have faith in something. So, you know, I grasped onto this like it was, you know, my last hope.
You know, we get referrals from schools, we get referrals from probation, from family court, and we get referrals from a mom or dad who just realizes their child needs help, and they can schedule an appointment and bring their child directly here. They meet, the appointment's divided up where part of the appointment is with the child themselves, part is with the family, and then the third part with all of them together. And our assessment coordinator, who does a wonderful job, really kind of stabilizes the family because they're in crisis at that point. Everything is broken down, communication is broken down, they're in desperate need of help, and she's able to kind of, you know, help stabilize them, get the information, and then we get to see if it's a really good match for our program here.
Outreach gave me structure every day. That's something I need. I've never had structure in my life. I never cared about authority, never listened to what they said.
Just taught me a lot of discipline and stuff. I had like no discipline on the outside. Like they just brought me like back together, just sober and healthy.
They definitely transition you back appropriately. Structure taught me a lot of stuff. Having rules and regulations, everything like kind of sorted out for me. I definitely need some structure in my life.
My son's been here 4 months, and the change is amazing. In the beginning, he was very rebellious. He eloped, which he left the facility.
There's no time to really slip up. If you do, you know, you learn from it. I've learned from all the mistakes I've made, and I know not to make the same mistakes in the future.
But now he just hit a point and had an epiphany, and now he's going with the program. He's following the structure, he's following the rules, and he's made it into the next phase of treatment. He's a different person. He's brighter, he's happier. He just looks wonderful, and he's behaving like a young man.
When a family first gets here, there's a lot of conflict. The family is in a complete state of disarray. They're frightened, they're hurt, and they're nervous. They know they need help, but they're also, reluctant about handing their child over, as you can imagine.
When I first arrived at Outreach, my emotions they varied. It was sort of a bittersweet day. It was a happy day and a sad day. It was a happy day because I brought my son to a place where he may not lose his life. A place that I can tell you has saved my son's life.
Outreach really believes in treating children and families in the communities they live in. We're a family-centered model, so we do a lot of intense family therapy. It's very difficult to do that when your child's 100 miles, 150 miles away. And, so the benefit of being here and being able to service both Nassau and Suffolk County is tremendous, because parents can come here multiple times during the week and get really involved in the child's therapy. We put them into a parallel treatment process, and you need to be close by and in their community to do that.
I believed in the program, hook, line, and sinker. I did everything they told me to do because, again, this was my son's life, which would have been, down the toilet if it wasn't for this program.
The relationship between myself, my husband, the whole family, and my son has changed amazingly. We have conversations now where for the last few years we haven't had those conversations, talked about family things, done things as a family. He's come home on pass now once or twice, and we do things together and talk about things, and that's something that was severely lacking.
My relationship with my family, my parents, is unbelievably good. I go on pass and it's smooth the whole time. I don't get into one argument. It's just we talk like real people. I could talk to them about anything. They're supporting, they're loving, they're caring.
I've always been really close with my family, but now it's just I have a special love for them that I will never have for anybody else. They've done so much for me.
When we first brought our son to Outreach, I had a sense of relief. I felt like this was the place for him to be. It was the first night in a year, the first day he was here, that I slept. I felt that he was in a safe environment, that he was protected, and we just felt really good about our decision.
In coming to Outreach and talking to other people and the different walks of life, although we're all different, we are all the same. We have children that are addicts. It is a disease, and it's a disease like any other that needs to be coped with. And this facility and this program has helped me immensely.
My little brother looks up to me as a role model now. It's a good feeling.
Just gonna stay away from negative peers and just have new friends and just have a happy, healthy life with my family.
And I just want to live a happy and sober life.
For information about Outreach House, contact them at area code 631-231-3232.